Hello and welcome to DOBKED News.
We're going to be talking about the mass media today. So presidential candidates give the media carefully staged events to report on to spread their popularity, and getting the right image on television is very important for candidates. They get more recognition from 30 seconds on TV than they do from a whole day of shaking hands. Dalbert, did you know that 60% of presidential campaigning is spending is now devoted to TV ads?
60%, wow.
I know, right? And also 2/3 of ads are focused on negative aspects of elections and competitors. Communicating with America is very important for presidential candidates because they're trying to get their image out there, and everyone is trying to spread messages with the people of the country. Not want to Dalbert with the development of media politics.
So, once upon a time, the newspaper was once the primary source of political media in the United States. However, since the development of media such as TV and the internet has caused a dramatic shift in where our political knowledge comes from. This has its goods and its bads. Pros, it's more widespread and more accessible to most Americans. However, a lot of times there's less information and more inaccuracy. Also, online articles generate much less money for news sources, and people only watch TV shows that share their ideals. This is called selective exposure. Another major aspect of American media is the press. As you know, the press and the president don't always seem to get along. However, this wasn't always the case. From Franklin Delano Roosevelt through the 1960s, the press and president actually got along quite well. However, as you can probably tell, that is no longer the same. This seems like a good spot to be. Now on to Brooklyn with Reporting the News!
Thanks, guys. So now I'm going to be talking about reporting the news. So there are millions of new and different types of events that happen every day, and journalists must decide which ones are newsworthy.
Really? That must be so hard.
It is. So first, they must find the news. Organizations will send their best reporters to particular beats.
Okay, so does that mean like certain reporters get certain beats every time?
So this means that they'll become specialists on what goes on in that location.
Okay.
Sometimes they feed stories to reporters in form of trial balloons.
Trial? I don't think I've ever heard of a trial balloon. What is that?
So it's information that's leaked to see what the political reaction will be.
Oh, that's interesting.
Once the news has been found, it's neatly compressed into 30-second news segments.
Oh, okay.
And so this means that technology has enabled is a more speedy coverage, but it also has become less thorough in information.
Oh, okay.
Americans now usually hear about 10 seconds of sound bites in TV.
10 seconds. Okay.
And television is particularly biased towards stories that generate good pictures. Seeing a talking head is boring. So viewers will usually switch the channel.
I would.
We are out here in the middle of the greatest snowstorm to ever happen. It's crazy, but we're talking about the news and public opinion, and it is hard to separate the media from other influences. The effect on one news story, public opinion, may be trivial, but the cumulative effect of dozens of news stories may be important. In an experiment, they found that they could significantly affect the importance people attach to a given problem by splicing a few stories about it into the news over the course of a week. This agenda-setting effect can have a range of far-reaching consequences, like 1. By increasing public attention to specific problems, the media influence the criteria by which the public evaluate public leaders. The media can have a dramatic effect on the public evaluate specific events by emphasizing one, even others. Now on to Kyle with policy entrepreneurs and agenda setting.
The topic is policy, agendas, and entrepreneurs. So a policy agenda is a list of problems that the government will pay close attention to at any given time. Some examples of these would be healthcare, education, unemployment, and immigration. And there's lots more agendas that the government will listen to all the time. And then the other part is policy entrepreneurs. Policy entrepreneurs are just people who invest their money in an issue. Yep, that's about it.
Alright, thank you guys. So finally I am talking about understanding the mass media. Okay, so media is a linkage institution
Who's the linkage institution between?
Good question. So it's between the people and the policymakers. So that connection is very important, and media connects them very well. Something I thought was interesting is that press criticism of political leaders is actually kind of good because it keeps them from doing what they shouldn't be doing. Because if you were all over the media, you wouldn't just be doing crazy things, right?
That's interesting. So who does the media mainly focus on?
Good question. So the main focus on the media today is actually the president. 65% of TV attention goes to the president. And TV broadcasting has been furthered has furthered individualism in politics a lot lately. It's focused way more on the individual than just on groups. So yeah, a lot of attention goes to the president. It turns out 29% goes to Congress, and just a tiny, tiny portion goes to other things. So president is huge. Yeah, and another interesting thing is that the people care a lot more about entertainment than the actual important information they're getting. Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy.
I mean, I know I do. I want to be entertained. But media, in the end, is just a business, and they appeal to the maximum amount of people. So the people care about entertainment in the end. So it's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to DOBKED News, and I hope you guys enjoyed your breaking news today.